Hey boys and girls, let's go ahead and finish up Junie B. Jones is a graduation girl. Okay, starting with chapter 7. Juice driblets. Grape juice can go wrong. First, Raggedy Ruth got purple on her mouth. Then Teddy got dribble on his paw. And then, oh no, Raggedy Larry forgot to swallow his whole entire sip. Driblets spilled all over my bookshelf. I covered my mouth, very shocked. Then my heart pounded and pounded. 'Cause if grape juice gets on my rug, I'm in big trouble, Missy. A cloth, I need a cloth, I hollered. I ran around and around all over my room. Then all of a sudden, my eyes looked down at my clothes, and what do you know? I saw the cloth I needed. I quick took it off me and soaked my driblets. My shoulders felt relief in them. Phew! That was a close one, I said. After that, I walked to my bed and I plopped on my pillow. My brain was genius to think of that, I said. I breathed and breathed. Then, all of a sudden, I did a teensy frown, 'cause something did not feel right here, possibly. I covered my head with my sheet. Then I turned my head very slow and I peeked at my bookshelf. My stomach did a flip-flop. Because I saw my graduation gown, that's why, and it had juice driblets soaked into its front. I look at Raggedy Larry real mad. Oh no, look what you made me do, I said. You made me use my graduation gown to soak up that dumb juice. Great, Larry, just great. After that, Raggedy Larry got put under my bed and he did not come out again. Juice driblets did not go away, do not go away. Not even if you erase them with your brand new eraser, or if you color them with your new white crayon, or if you brush them with Daddy's new brightening toothpaste. I brushed up and down and all around and the driblets did not budge. Shoot, I said, now I will look like that sloppy baby at graduation, and I'm not even the one who dribbled. Just then I heard a knock at my door. It was Grandpa Miller. Junie B., everything okay in there? Yes, Grandpa, yes. Everything is perfectly perfect, I hollered. I am just playing with my stuffed animals, and that's all. Grandpa Frank Miller knocked some more. Could you open the door, please? He asked. I felt tension in me, 'cause I didn't want him to see my problem, that's why. I quick pushed my graduation gown under my bed, then I opened my door teensy crack. Hello, how are you today? I said. I'm fine, except I'm right in the middle of something. I would like to get back to it, please. Grandpa Miller was holding baby Ollie and he looked disappointed at me. Oh, phooey, he said. Look what I've got on your brother. Oh, now that I've got your brother cleaned up, I thought maybe you and I could teach him how to play checkers. I looked at Ollie. He was wearing a clean shirt with purple polka dotties. No, thank you, I said. Maybe I'll teach him checkers some other day. I waved at my Grandpa Miller. Very sweet. Well, nice seeing you again, Frank. Goodbye, I said. After that, I closed the door and I waited for Grandpa's footsteps to leave. Finally, I pulled my graduation gown from under the bed and I stared and stared at that stupid thing. Why did this dumb gown have to be white? I grouched. Why couldn't it be purple like the grape juice? If it was purple like the grape juice, the driblets would be blend in. I tapped my fingers real annoyed. Or why couldn't this dumb gown have had purple flowers on it? The juice would blend in with the flowers too, I bet, I said. Or what about the polka dotties like Ollie's shirt? If there were purple polka dotties, no one would notice the driblets for sure. Just then I sat up very fast, 'cause I was getting another brainstorm in my head, I believe. I zoomed to my desk. Then I looked through my drawers and I found my colored markers. I laughed real loud and happy. Then I spread my graduation gown on the floor and I worked and worked very hard. And guess what? When I finally got done, you couldn't even spot the driblets, hardly. My brain is genius after all, I said. After that, I put my cap and gown in the box again, and I took it back to Grandpa Miller. All righty, Grandpa, he said. You can put this back in the refrigerator now, please. Then I smiled real big, because guess what? He did. Chapter 8, Getting Ready. Room 8 and 9 practiced for graduation together. We practiced on the stage in the auditorium because the stage is where people get diplomas, of course. Mrs. showed everyone how to walk up the steps without tripping. She played music for us to march in. And guess what? Room 9 marched better than Room 8, except Polly Ann Puffer kept blowing real silly, and Linny kept stepping on people's heels. Plus Shy William ran out of the auditorium and down the hall, and Gus Valoni had to chase him all around the parking lot. After that, Principal talked to William a real long time. Plus also his mother was called in, I believe. I am not like William, I told Lucille and Grace. I'm not even nervous of waking up on that stage, hardly. Me neither, said that Grace. I'm not nervous of walking up on that stage hardly either. Lucille fluffed her fluffy hair. My Nana says I was born to be on stage. Nana says that people enjoy looking at me because I'm a feast for their eyes. After that, Lucille wrinkled her nose very cute, and she skipped around and around in a circle. Grace and I watched her for a real long time. Then finally, Lucille stopped skipping, and all of us hugged and hugged, because we were the bestest 3 friends I ever even saw. Graduation week went by very fast. Friday night came in a jiffy. I felt so excited I couldn't even eat my dinner that good. I got down from my chair and I ran all over the house. Settle down, said Daddy. Settle down, said Mother. Settle down, I hollered. Then I laughed real loud, 'cause I'm a hoot, that's why. Finally, it was time to go. Mother got my graduation box off the top of the refrigerator. I jumped up and down. Let me carry that, Mother, please, please, please. I want to carry my box to room 9 myself, because that's where all of us are getting dressed. Mother handed me the box. Then Daddy said, settle down, again, and all of us drove to my school. Grandpa and Grandma Miller met us in the parking lot. I hugged them hello. Then I zoomed to room 9 speedy fast. And guess what? All of the children from the morning and afternoon kindergarten were getting ready together. I ran through the door. It's me, people. It's Junie B. Jones, and I'm here for graduation. Lucille and Grace came rushing over. They were already wearing their caps and gowns, and they looked marvelous, I tell you. Hurry up, Junie B., said Lucille. Hurry up and put on your cap and gown. Our teacher is going to take our picture. Yes, said that Grace. Hurry, hurry. She quick grabbed my box away from me, and she took out my cap and gown. Grace did a gasp. Oh no, Junie B., what happened? She said. What happened to your cap and gown? My stomach felt queasy and sickish, because that outfit looked spottier than I remembered. Put it down, Grace, I said. Don't show people. I don't want anyone to notice. Lucille laughed very hard. But that's so dumb, Junie B., she said. How could people not notice? You colored big purple splotches all over your graduation clothes. I did a huffy breath at that girl. Those are not big splotches, Lucille, I said. Those are purple polka dotties that I drew in to blend my juice driblets, and that is a whole different ballgame, madame. Just then, some of the kids heard me yelling. They turned to look. Great, Lucille, I said. Now look what you did. You called attention to myself, and now how can I even blend in? After that, I quick grabbed my graduation gown, and I ran to the back of the room. Just then, I heard a voice. Junie B. Jones? I looked to the front of the room. It was my teacher. Mrs. stretched her neck out to look back at me. Is there a problem back there, Junie B.? She asked. I shook my head real fast. No, Mrs. No, I said. There isn't a problem, I promise. And so please do not come back here, and I mean it. Mrs. came back there, and what do you know? All of room 9 came back with her. Mrs. took my cap and gown out of my hands. The children laughed and laughed at that thing. What kind of a dumb gown do you call that? Said Meanie Jim. I know, said Polly Ann Puffer. It's the kind of gown that a clown would wear. Yeah, shouted Jim. It's a purple spotty clown gown. After that, the laughing got louder and louder. I put my hands over my ears to keep it out of my head. Then I tried to tell them about Raggedy Larry and the driblets and my purple-colored marker, and my nose started running very much, and I couldn't even talk that good. Finally, I started to cry. And guess what? Then nobody laughed anymore. Chapter 9, the last chapter, the time of my life. Mrs. took me into the hall. She wiped my face with a tissue, and we talked about my graduation gown. Mrs. said I looked darling in that dotty thing, 'cause purple is her favorite color, plus grape is her favorite kind of drink. I kept on crying, 'cause I didn't actually buy it, that's why. Pretty soon, Mother and Daddy came hurrying to room 9. They brought Grandpa Miller with them, and their eyes popped out of my spotty-dotty gown. I'm sorry. Please don't yell at me, I said, 'cause I'm already crying, see? Plus wearing this dumb clown gown will be punishment enough. Mother and Daddy didn't yell. They said we would talk about this problem later. After that, Mother helped me put on the cap and gown, and she hugged me very nice. Then Daddy grinned, and he said I look cute in dots. She does look cute, said Grandpa Miller. And not only that, but when she goes on stage, she'll be easy to spot. Wah, wah. He winked at me. I did a giggle, 'cause that man is a silly joker, that's why. Finally, Mrs. patted me. Are you feeling better now, Junie B? She asked. Are you ready to go back inside and be with your friends? I shrugged, kind of worried. Sure she is. Of course she is, says my grandpa. Oh, my goodness. This is Junie B. Jones. After that, he stood up straight and tall, and he faced me to my classroom. Then I breathed in a big breath, and me and Mrs. went back to room 9. Polly Ann and Jim jumped out at me. Surprise, they hollered. Surprise, 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 hollered my best friend named Grace. I looked at those people very shocked. Then my mouth came all the way open, 'cause they had dots on their clothes too, just like mine. That Grace skipped all around. It was Jim's idea, Junie B, she said. He said that if all of us had spots too, then you would feel better. And so Polly Ann Puffer found the colored markers, and we colored dots on our caps and gowns, just like yours. Grace looked at Mrs. See, teacher, see us? Aren't we beautiful? I colored red spots, and Jim colored blue spots, and Polly Ann Puffer colored green spots, she said. Just then, William raised his hand. And I coloring orange spots, he said, kind of soft. And I'm coloring lavender spots, said Charlotte. And I'm coloring pink spots, said my bestest friend, Lucille, 'cause pink brings out the natural blush of my cheeks. Mrs. smiled. Her smile kept on getting bigger. Well, Junie B. Jones, she said finally, what do you think of all of this, My face beamed very joyful. I think I love these people. That's what I think, I hollered. Then Jim said, gross. And Polly Ann Puffer said, gross, too. After that, all of room 9 laughed and laughed, and this time, even me. Graduation finally got started. The room 8 teacher walked up the steps of the stage. She said hello to all of the people. Then Mrs. walked up the stairs of the stage too. She was still smiling. Families and friends, I have been a teacher for a very long time, she said, but in all my years of teaching, these are some of the most colorful graduates I've ever seen. Mrs. held out her arms. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to present the graduates of room 8 and 9. Just then music started, and all of the children walked into the auditorium. The audience chuckled at us very happy. Room 9 chuckled back at them. After that, all of us sat in special chairs, and both of the teachers talked and talked some more. And then finally, it happened. Mrs. started calling our names, and one by one, we walked up on stage, and we got our diplomas. And good news, Polly Ann Puffer did not bow real silly, and Lenny did not step on people's heels, and Shy William did not run away. It was the time of our life, I tell you. I felt 1,000,000,000 feet tall up there. And when Mrs. gave me my diploma, she shook my hand real nice. I'm going to miss you, Junie B. Jones, she said. You are truly one of a kind. Thank you, Mrs., I said. You are truly one of a kind too. After that, my grandpa Frank Miller did a loud whistle, and Mother and Daddy clapped very proud. And here is the happiest news of all. When graduation was over, room 9 did not even know how to say goodbye to each other, because all of us are coming back to the same school for first grade, so we can play at recess just like Mother said. And guess what else? I can't wait to see those guys again, because we will be friends forever and ever, and always and always. And I mean it. The end. So, if you have been listening along, now you know that who Junie B is, and I'm so glad to have shared these books with you, to share her kindergarten while you're in kindergarten. And I very much like what she says at the end, because we never really had a chance to say goodbye as a class, not really. And I think that's okay. There is no goodbye. We will see each other again very soon, and I'll be seeking you out, and you'll be seeking me out, and just like old friends do, okay? Because we will be friends forever and ever, and always and always. I mean it.